SV Darmstadt 98 has extended the contract with its head coach Torsten Lieberknecht by 2 more years. Lieberknecht's new contract is now valid until 2027. Senlinen will wear the green-whites jersey in the future. The midfielder changes from Royal Union St. Gilles to the Weser. Freiburg's top talent Garvich changes to FC Barcelona. Australia's Commonwealth Bank earnings top $10 billion as interest rate rises boost profit margins. New Zealand is partnering with BlackRock in aim to reach 100% renewable electricity. Sam Bankman-Fried will face campaign finance fraud charges after all, prosecutors announce. Leader of $120 million crypto scam in India arrested. Authorities say Muammar Gaddafi stashed billions in Canadian bank accounts, former diplomat says. Marvel's Secret Invasion cost $212 million, outdone by Barbie and Oppenheimer, and cost less. Disney creates task force to explore AI and cut costs. The famously overworked visual effects workers behind the Marvel movies just voted to join a union. Talk to Me in the works from A24 and directors Danny and Michael Philippou. Made in America cancels 2023 festival with headliners Lizzo, SZA due to severe circumstances outside of production control. Canadian rapper Tory Lanez sentenced to 10 years for shooting that wounded Megan Thee Stallion.
Biden designates new national monument surrounding the Grand Canyon, blocking uranium mining.
No more ice cream with empty Fuji. Japan train line phases out snack carts. Ghost flights. Qatar Airways flying near empty planes between Melbourne and Adelaide to exploit loophole on number of flights it can make to Australia.
Bitstamp to suspend trading of 7 major altcoins for U.S. users: AXS, CHZ, Mana, Matic, NEAR, Sand and SOL. Binance gets El Salvador's green light to become first fully licensed crypto exchange, and Binance sold USDC for BTC and ADH after Silvergate Bank collapse by point of reserves report.
South Africa pushing for U.S. Ambassador Ruben Brigidi's expulsion.
Tesla CFO Zach Kirkhorn exits with $590 million fortune. UPS driver pay and benefits deal in U.S. to be worth $170,000 a year, firm says.
If Ukraine recognizes Kosovo, it will lose everything in one day, Serbian President Vučić said in Kyiv to lose Belgrade's trust. Australia will refer to West Bank as occupied Palestinian territories. France moves to ban far-right party for anti-Semitism.
Judges Roberts and Barrett join Liberals as Supreme Court revives federal ghost gun restrictions. Supreme Court allows Biden to regulate homemade ghost guns.
Opioid victims struggle with Purdue Pharma settlement's high bar. Mexico shutters 23 pharmacies at Caribbean coast resorts after U.S. warned of dangerous pill sales. Tampa mayor finds $1.1 million worth 70 pounds of cocaine while on fishing trip in the Florida Keys.
Half of people worldwide at risk of developing mental health condition by age 75, per new study. U.S. set to limit scope of China investment ban with revenue rule. Germany's Marvel Fusion to build $150 million laser facility in U.S. in partnership with Colorado State University. WeWork says there's substantial doubt about ability to stay in business.
Intel's Arc GPU drivers for Windows now collect telemetry, including how you use your computer, by default.
EA closing Crysis 3, Dead Space 2 and Dante's Inferno servers later this year.
Tottenham complete signings of Mickey van de Ven and Alejo Veliz. Newcastle United Santino Livramento. Chelsea investigated by Premier League for potential financial rule breaches during Abramovich era.
NVIDIA teams up with Hugging Face to offer cloud-based AI training. Also, NVIDIA unveils Workbench for managing AI workloads. Google launches VS Code-based IDE, Project IDX, as a new AI-enabled browser-based development environment. TSMC teams up with Bosch, Infineon, INXP for German chip foundry. Apple to invest in SoftBank-owned British chip designer Arm on initial public offering in September, along with Samsung, Intel, NVIDIA. Google unveils new downfall attacks on Intel CPUs, which steal encryption keys and data from years of CPUs. Troubled Toshiba announces buyout offer led by Japan businesses.
Italy approves one-off 40% windfall tax for extra profits on Italian banks for 2023 as profits soar and European stocks plunge. Moody's downgrades 10 U.S. banks, warns of possible cuts to others as it puts some big names on downgrade watch. U.S. banks fined $549 million after senior execs found secretly texting for hiding messages in Signal, WhatsApp, iMessage to evade regulators' reach.
Galaxy Z Flip 5 and Fold 5 break pre-order records in South Korea, and Instagram finally rolls out big screen user interface for Galaxy Z Fold devices. Saudi Arabia mandates all electronic devices to use USB-C charging ports from 2025.
Rich Communication Services, RCS conversations and messages by Google are now end-to-end encrypted, including group chats, by default. China to tighten the rules on use of facial recognition technology.
BRICS affiliated the Global South breaks away from the US-led world order, previously defined as an opposite pole to the G7 bloc. A new memorial in southern Taiwan has been unveiled to remember the 1,000s of Taiwanese youths who volunteered to help the Japanese war effort during World War II. PGA Tour's chief tournaments and competitions officer Andy Pazder resigns before FedEx Cup playoffs. ESPN strikes $1.5 billion deal to jump into sports betting with Penn Entertainment.
First evidence of quantum superchemistry observed in lab. $5 billion Google lawsuit over incognito mode tracking moves a step closer to trial. Images of alleged iPhone 15 USB-C connector parts leak on Twitter. NASA's Compare Gamma Ray Hunting mission prepares for balloon flight.
Moscow's mission to the dark side of the moon is the first moon lander since 1976 and race with Indian spacecraft to where described to be spotted with water. The Ariane 6 rocket will now debut no earlier than the spring of 2024. NASA may delay crewed lunar landing beyond Artemis 3 mission.
NASA Mars Rover Perseverance Lego Technic set 42,158 now available.
United States and Mongolia discussed ways to increase U.S.-Mongolia space and technology cooperation, including through the development of a bilateral space dialogue. Mars V Project, a project to establish International Center of Science, Technology and Innovation that consists of Mars Comprehensive Training Academy, is involved with a visit. Research shows astronauts' immune systems falter in space.
Electoral Commission hack exposed data of 40 million UK voters. Police Service of Northern Ireland's major data breach identifies every police officer in Northern Ireland due to human error. England to deny COVID and flu jabs to under -65s despite fears for NHS, while CDC says COVID variant EG.5 is now dominant, including strain some call Eris, which is also dominant in the UK. Babylon Health, once the future of the NHS, goes into administration. Recently it announced plans to go private from public listed company and sell its UK business. 49ers list Brock Purdy as starter, Trey Lance or Sam Darnold as number 2 QB.